Thank you so much, Monsignor Clement, for your generous and gracious introduction at the beginning of the Mass. My name is Father Fred, and I always tell my friends not to worry too much about the last name. It is this long. Father Fred Biaruhanga, and I am a priest of the Diocese of Kabale in Uganda, and currently I serve as the diocesan representative. And also, I'm deeply honored and humbled to serve those who served. I'm a full-time chaplain at the Veterans Hospital in West Los Angeles, and we have clinics all over. I never miss a chance to acknowledge and recognize our veterans, and I'd like to ask anyone who has served in any branch of the military, please raise your hand. Any veteran in the congregation, spouses of vets, children of vets, because they serve together. Thank you all for your service. I'd like to refresh your memory about last Sunday's gospel. It was this public manifestation of divine benevolence. Jesus looked at the crowd that have been following him. Look at their eyes. They're exhausted. They're hungry. And says they are like sheep without a shepherd. He would not turn his back on them. And from that little packed lunch for the little boy who was there, it's a very important part of the story. As soon as his lunch reaches the hands of Jesus, every single one was fed, 5,000 and more. But now in today's gospel, they want more. And Jesus said, wait a minute, hold on. You are looking for more of the same. He knew that material things can never satisfy the deepest longings of the human soul, of the human heart. Seek the food that never perishes. Seek that food that comes from above. After COVID, I went to visit a friend of mine who's homebound. I've known her for many years. So we said prayers, and it brought her communion and holy anointing. And as I was giving her communion, I see tears rolling down her face. Father, it's been a year since I received communion. That's how compelling this bread is. The bread of hope, the bread that gives us life, the bread that brings us here every day of our lives, because we have that deep longing to be touched by God's grace. And if you want to know a little more, then think about what happened in July at the Eucharistic Congress. 50,000 people gathered around this wonderful table of God's grace. And if you want also to know a little more, when you get a chance, you can go YouTube and put in Uganda Martyrs Celebration, June the 3rd, 2024, and you'll see what the presence of Christ among the people really means. 4 million people at Mass on that day. And some of them, they walk 500 miles, 600 miles. They don't take a ride from anyone. They come as a sacrifice to be at that shrine where 22 people were martyred for the sake of their faith. So at the end of the story of the gospel last Sunday, there were 12 baskets left over. Symbolically, one basket for each apostle to go and feed the world with God's goodness, love, and compassionate care. So this is our time. We are each one given that basket to go and make Christ present. So in this spirit of making Christ present, it's an honor for me to celebrate Mass with you during this weekend and also share with you about the mission Diocese of Kabale and how we endeavor to plant the seeds of hope, especially among those who are most in need. Kabale Diocese is one of the 19 dioceses in Uganda. It is located on the southwestern corner of the country. We serve a population of about 1.5 million people, and about over 900,000, 50 of them are Roman Catholic, and we are a diocese of 38 parishes. So every 5 years, we develop a pastoral plan whereby we highlight those areas of outreach and spiritual care that are most critical, and then we focus our attention in terms of time and resources in those areas. So for the sake of this appeal, I'd like to focus on only 3 of them. And the first one is the support for orphaned and vulnerable children. According to UNESCO, the recent numbers, in the past 10 years, in Uganda alone, we have seen about 10 million orphaned children. Some have lost both parents, and others have lost just one parent. In my diocese alone, we are looking at over 25,000 of these little ones that are critically in need of outreach support. So as a diocese, we felt that we cannot just look the other way and fail these most defenseless members of our society. So we decided to form what we call the Kabale Diocese Orphaned and Vulnerable Children Program. So this is a foster home care effort. So what we do, we go deep in the villages and then seek out those who are most in need, those who do not know where the next meal is going to come from, those who do not have shelter sometimes. And then we bring them out of that environment and we place them in individual homes. We look for relatives if we can find them, and if we cannot find them, we look for volunteers. I've been saying that my mom answered that call when we were little. We were 10 of us, children. As if 10 was not enough, she showed up with 2 babies. So don't ask me where she got them from, but what I know is they are my sisters, and we grew up together. So we look for someone who is willing to make that sacrifice and take in a child. So what we do is send them to school, pay their fees, buy them school supplies, uniform, and take care of their healthcare needs and also personal needs. So currently we are supporting 540 of them in school. So the second area is, it costs us $350 a year to support one child in this environment. So the second area is healthcare. Healthcare becomes very critical for us because we are so far away from the center. We are over 280 miles away from the capital city. So some of these very essential services that other people may take for granted, they take time to get to us. So as a diocese, we decided to build a hospital in the rural area specifically for the rural poor. So by God's grace, we have been able to complete 2 phases of this project. We have a health center up and running, mostly outpatient, but we can admit on a limited basis. And we have other units. So we are looking into transitioning to the 3rd phase, where I would like to construct the children's ward, labor and delivery unit, and emergency room expansion. So long term, this will be a diagnostic center because, as you can tell, the closest one is 280 miles away. And just imagine if you have a life-limiting illness and you have to be transported by road. As you can see, some don't make it. So this hospital is already saving lives as we speak. So the third and the last one is the education and formation of our seminarians and catechists. We are so doubly blessed by the gift of vocations. We are a diocese of 38 parishes. We currently have 145 priests. And last year we ordained 15 This year we are ordaining 8, and we have 79 seminarians who will be ordained priests in the subsequent years. And then we have over 250 religious men and women who are born in the diocese, and men are serving elsewhere. But then we are facing a mounting challenge of paying for their education, for their formation in a major seminary, because it costs $400 to support one seminarian a year, and $150 to support one catechist a year. So some people have asked me, what is this about catechists? What they do? What do they do? They are the very engine of grassroots evangelization, because our parishes may be few, but they cover a wide area. Some have a radius of about maybe 15, 20 miles. So every parish has at least 10 what you call mission churches, and those are managed by a catechist. They are residential, they conduct services on Sunday, and they provide pastoral care in many other ways. So as a diocese, we truly believe that these are very, very big undertakings, and we know that. For us to be able to reach out to every single one of them, of the 25 little ones, is going to take a long time. But I'm not about to forget what a friend of mine told me one day, that the best way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. And I agree to that, because by God's grace, I'm the one who started the orphan children program, and we started with 8. And see where we are, 540, one child at a time. The idea of a hospital was stayed in the mind for about 5 years. We are thinking, we are dreaming, we are hoping, we are praying too. But see where we are. We have finished 2 phases, and now we are transitioning into the third phase. One brick at a time. So I'm here, dear friends, to request a bite, so that hopefully by the end of the year, we may be able to take in maybe 5 to 10 more children, and maybe we may be able to break ground on one of those units, and then we take it up from there. So as I conclude, I'd like to express my most heartfelt gratitude to the mission office of the Archdiocese of Los Angeles for allowing me this wonderful opportunity to come and share with you about how we endeavor to make Christ present. I thank my profound gratitude to Father Ricky, your pastor. He's opened the door for me. He's been so gracious, so welcoming, so hospitable. And thank you so much, Monsignor. Thank you, appreciate. And Father Leo in the morning. Yeah, I'm very well taken care of and in very good hands. And thank you, Faith Community, for reaching out to people whose names you'll never even know. And you did this time and time again. I know I'm not the first person to come and preach mission here in this pulpit. I'm sure someone was here last year, and I'm almost 100% sure that someone else will be here. Maybe from Guatemala, could be from Papua New Guinea, could be from anywhere in the world in the mission land. On behalf of all those, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you so much for reaching out to us, and how we wish one day you could come over and see for yourselves how much of a difference you have made. And for those who love to travel and you end up in Uganda, Monsignor has spoken to that. I want to add something. If you happen to be in Uganda, please come to Kabale. It's only a 7-hour bus ride. I know you can do it. But you will have no regrets at all, because that's the most beautiful part of the country. And also, if you love animals like I do, and you have heard of mountain gorillas that everyone in the world would like to see, the only place in the world, part of that forest reserve is in Kabale Diocese. So you really have no choice. So please come and visit us and visit our beautiful country. So the Father Ricky has asked me to remind you that in case you'd like to make a contribution to this appeal, there's some envelopes. Then you can put your contribution in there and put it in a regular basket along with your parish contribution. And if you didn't come prepared, you can just take it home with you and pray over it, and then bring it back on Sunday as well. And then I'm told that we live in the world of technology, so there's another option of reaching out online too. So again, thank you, and may God continue to bless you. Amen. Thank you.